What's up guys and girls, welcome to another video. In this video I want to prove to you that we are going to other mythologies in the future, and to do this I want to show you everything in God of War Ragnarok that was talking about a different mythology. Then I want to bring up God of War 2018 and then move on to some of the things that Eric Williams and maybe some other devs have actually said. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. But hold on, you're actually missing something. You forgot to hit the subscribe button and the like button. With that being said, let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is some of the items we find during a side quest. Here is every single item that you find. I took a screenshot on it, and all of these are directly talking about another mythology. You have items that is obviously from Egypt. You have other items that's from the east, some even further east. Mayan mythology is referenced here. Even Kratos' homeland, there's an instrument. You can see all of these if you completed the side quest called Stolen Treasures. If you completed it, you can just go into the codex, go to this one, and you can see it all for yourself. I'm not going to straight up read them because it's long, but you can pause the video and actually read it through. Next, let's talk about the mask. The mask has a Greek language that's actually on it, as Atreus did actually translate it for Odin. But funny enough, in an interview, Eric Williams did say that there are multiple different languages that are written on the mask. Here is what Eric Williams said in that interview.
So the mask, is it inspired by Jim Carrey's The Mask?
I'm sure if I said yes, we'd get in legal trouble. But I don't think it was 100%. I think I told him I wanted it to be wood because we wanted to carve things into it. It was more about what the carvings were. Like there's carvings from different languages on the mask when you look at it up close. But if there's some kind of thing, maybe somebody snuck something in I didn't even know about.
This is definitely implying that other places this mask may have actually been, not just Greece. Mimir himself in God of War 2018 admitted to us that he's actually not from here, and the lead writer Matt confirmed a very long time ago that he's actually from Scotland. In God of War 2018, Mimir did tell us that he sailed from his homeland and arrived here in Scandinavia. And in Ragnarok, he did actually tell us a story from his old home. Now, Mimir is actually Scottish. The lead writer confirmed this a while ago. Here is a short clip of Mimir saying that he did arrive here on a boat, and a brief story from God of War Ragnarok of him talking about his homeland.
Mimir, how'd you come to be in these lands?
Lad, there comes a time in every man's life when he changes his name and heads north to make a new start. If you live long enough to do this many times over, you might end up as far north as this place. By the time I arrived, I already knew Odin by his reputation, and so I set to demonstrate my worth by coming to him with something I knew he'd value. A mystic well of...
Where? You may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back to my earliest days, when I had little more to do than observe the mortals who passed through our forest.
This is kind of similar to Kratos' story. After the events of God of War 3, we see what happens next in the Fallen God comics, where he got on a boat and sailed out of Greece and eventually made it to a place described as the land of the pharaohs. We believe this to be Egypt. Also, now that I have a chance to talk about this, in Sindri's home, you can actually see a boat surrounded by water near the entrance where you first walk in, and I think that this might be symbolizing the future of these games as well. If you can just take a boat and go to a whole other place, then this is probably where the series is going to become, sailing or going to other mythologies. Let's get into some of the things that Eric Williams has said. He did say that there are several different languages on the mask itself, but he also mentioned a very crucial detail. After we free Tyr from his prison, you can find him in different realms. Midgard, Vanaheim, Muspelheim, I believe he's also in the realm of the dwarves, and one other place I know I'm forgetting, but the important thing here is that he's doing these specific poses. Eric Williams in an interview said he's doing these poses because it represents all the places that he's been, and it might give a hint where this series is going. Here's what Eric Williams said.
I mean, if you pay attention to Tyr, I mean, there's a reason why he does the 6 animations. that he does at the end of the game.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So Tyr, once you free real Tyr,
Yes, yeah.
he is in all the realms.
Yeah.
Yes,
so we were trying to we were tracking him.
Yeah.
Is he in Jotunheim? Does he pop up in Jotunheim?
I don't think he's in Jotunheim.
Okay.
He's in Midgard, Alfheim. Goes to the Spark of the World.
Yeah.
He's at Svartalheim.
He's Svartalheim.
Vanaheim at the Grotto camp.
Right.
Yeah. So there's like 6 different places he is. But,
Okay, so he's in
but
six.
he does very specific animations.
Yes.
So
So
may have seen that he's been traveling the world.
Of course, when it comes to Tyr, we have everything in the past. We have God of War 2018 in his treasure room. You can see an Egyptian figurine there, and Mimir says that there are many, many gods there. You can see tapestries of all the other places he's been. You can actually see this on the elevator platform. In God of War Ragnarok, he also knew Kratos because he has actually been to Greece himself. One last thing I think is worth mentioning is Atreus at the end of God of War Ragnarok. He tells Kratos that there are other giants that are out there, and it's possible he's not talking about the 9 realms, because we learned at the very beginning of the game he visited all of the shrines and he found some of the marbles in there. Which means that the rest of the giant souls are actually not in the marbles. Now, he could be talking about Jotunheim, but I think it'll be a little bit too easy. I think if he stays in the 9 realms, then he's not exactly leaving Kratos, which kind of softens the blow of him actually leaving. I think that Atreus is going to go to other mythologies, telling the giants that it's safe to come home again because the giants left Scandinavia altogether. This will kind of go hand in hand at the end of God of War 2018. You can find writings on a wall of gods going good. The giants basically saying that they're waiting for the day when gods turn good to return home. So perhaps Atreus is that messenger, going out there to find the giants, letting them know that it's safe to return home. This is kind of similar to Faye. Faye was supposed to be this person to tell the giants when it's time to come home. So to see Atreus having this mantle now is really cool, right? It works really well with his story of Loki the Guardian. And with Kratos staying in Norse mythology, rebuilding everything, and we do see that statue that the people make revering Kratos, I think that it's absolutely perfect. Kratos would make sure that gods stay good in Norse mythology, and Atreus is going to bring the giants back. So gods and giants are going to be together again someday, and Atreus and Kratos, a god and a giant, representing both sides and how they've both grown. Loki and Kratos coming together, meeting once again in the future. But this only works, I feel, if Atreus leaves the 9 realms and goes to all these different mythologies. Also, I got a comment in the last video of someone telling me that Skjolder, Atreus' friend, who I think is going to have an impact with the series alongside Thor's daughter, he is actually a Danish king in his mythology. Thank you, Mr. Pitman, for commenting that. I would not have known that without you, dude. So perhaps in the future of these games, we get to see Skjolder become a king of some sorts. I think that would be pretty cool. He does have a very high opinion of Thor's daughter as well, so it's a very interesting story. There's so many different routes that they can go. But that is it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about different mythologies, all of these subtle hints that's been put into these games. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.